This is Dabu7. We have a group of seismologists that have been monitoring Yellowstone and its caldera, saying that it's under stress. Now, I've done a lot of videos and talked about this many times. I just did a video the other day on a supervolcano south of Japan. For those that don't know about it, there's a supervolcano there under the waters. And, if that thing blew, it would be completely different than Yellowstone for many different reasons. But one of the main is that if the one south of Japan blew, it has instant water above it pouring in on that magma, which makes an explosive steaming event, which will add to it. Okay? And in the end, help cool things down quicker. But with this one, obviously, if Yellowstone was to erupt full scale, it would change the whole globe. And you would have to get out of the northern hemisphere as quickly as possible and out of the plume's way, or you're done for the most part. Unless you're highly trained. And even if you're highly trained in survival with no sunlight for a long time, you're going to have to be far away from the plume of this thing and let it go through its cycle. And it would be game changing. It would change the course of history and everything else, in my opinion, if this happened. But it's something you got to keep on the table, in the cards, because it's a possibility. And right now we have more talk from scientists saying that they believe, after all their testing, that this volcano is under strain. They are noticing deformations. They're saying subsurface rocks are subtly changing. They're saying that this occurs when the pressure inside the magma chamber is changing. And we have seismologists with UNAVCO, this is a nonprofit, using GPS and these borehole tilt meters along with borehole strain meters that are measuring these minute changes in these deformations in Yellowstone and its caldera. And they're saying that the strain signal is larger than they expected if the crust under Yellowstone were completely solid, suggesting things are definitely shifting. And this is the reality of what we have to deal with here in this country. A supervolcano. And I talk about it all the time, survival this, survival that. But something like this, supervolcano, full-scale eruption, the only way you're surviving this is fleeing south to the other hemisphere. And even then, it will be life-changing for the whole globe in the blink of an eye. No doubt about it. But, you can't walk around living life every day freaking out like, oh, is it going to blow tomorrow? No, but you have to keep an eye on it. And if you do get the solid signs and notions that something big is going down, you have to make a move. And maybe one day you do have to stop and think about it. Just stop and think about it. One day, sit back and think, what would we do if it did blow? Grab all the stuff. How much time would we have before the plume got near us? And we would have to head south as quickly as possible, but could we outrun it by car with everybody else on the highway? Or are you going to need an aircraft, get airborne? Is that going to be the only way to outrun it? You see, lots of things to think about depending on where you're at, how to survive such an event. Someone really close are going to say, well, we live right here in Montana or Idaho. We're just, we'll be some of the first ones gone in an instant. I get it. There's not much you can do. You can't live in fear. But if this thing does present signs that it's going to do something and you can make moves and get out of harm's way, we have to have a plan. So as I always say, have a plan. Sit back and think of what it would take for you to get out of harm's way if an event like this took place. Okay? Because all we end up seeing more and more is talk of just this, of more changes, deformations, more to add to the equation that shows that this thing has more of a chance of erupting than not, rather sooner than later. So hopefully it can go on another 50, 100 years plus, even longer, without erupting. But it's going to happen at some point. And it's just like everybody not wanting the big one to hit in California or the new Madrid to unzip. Overdue. Meaning it's going to happen at some point. So all you can do is have a plan and prepare. But whenever I find new findings like this, where experts are actually in there with equipment and they're finding these results, I want to get them out there and let it be known that this is what's going on. I'll continue to update on the situation as I come across more info. And always tune in to Underground World News Live Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. We discuss stuff like this and more, breaking headlines, every Friday night. And make sure to subscribe as well. It's been Dabu7. Peace.